Mr. Tommy Walski.
Among the top owners here at Fraser Downs is Rick Mowles. Now, if you haven't heard that name very often, there is a reason. Mowles runs under the JJJ stables, and what those three J's stand for, they are the first initials of his family. But if you also notice when you come to the racetrack, in the program, you're going to see a fella that wins a lot of races, and that is the JJJ stables.
I'm a farm boy from out here in Langley, so horses have been part of my life. My father took me to the races at Patterson Park in Ladner when I was very small, and that's when I started really liking horses, and particularly the standardbreds. I owned horses from the early 80s, but it was when I hooked up with Al Anderson in 1990 that it became much bigger for me.
Can you tell us how that all came about?
Well, Al is American, and he'd been through the circuits of racing in various small tracks in Manitoba, Saskatchewan, and plus down in the U.S. His dad, Dale Anderson, was a longtime horseman, and all the boys are into horse racing of some sort. And anyone that hasn't met Al, Al's a very exuberant kind of guy, easy to like, very matter of fact, and I loved his honesty when I got into it. It was refreshing for me, and he was very straight up about everything, how good the horse was, whether there's any lameness issues, you know, whether the horse was sick. He let me know everything up front, and as an owner, there's nothing better than actually knowing all the details of what's going on out in the racetrack. I always have this saying that Al and I talk about everything extensively, and we talk about it many times, and then Al goes out and does exactly what he wants to do. But yeah, we pretty much agree on everything. I look after the business side, and Al looks after the horse side.
One day in particular, you won 4 races in the most unusual circumstances. You weren't stabled on the grounds.
We had some good 2-year-olds and good 3-year-olds, and we have a farm in California, and we shipped the horses up for the race, got here 3 days ahead of time, and raced in. We just, you get a little lucky in racing, and the timing was good. We had some very good stock at that particular time, very good stock.
We don't see Al at the track anymore.
Well, Al unfortunately got cancer, and he's well on his road to recovery now, but he's gone through a pretty bad couple of years, and for those that know anyone who's been through the treatments, the treatments can be pretty debilitating. So, while he's seems to be over the cancer at the moment, the road to recovery will be a while because of the debilitating issues around the treatments he's been taking.
One horse that sticks out, I think, with the public is Better From Behind.
Great filly for us, 2-year-old and a 3-year-old, and as a 4-year-old, we tried to race her on bigger tracks, but in California in particular, and she just, because she was a front-end horse all the time, contrary to her name, but she had a tougher time on the bigger tracks. So we got offered a pretty good price from Bob Murphy and sold the mare to him, and I think she's making babies now.
What's your relationship with Ed Hensley? Because he's one of a kind.
Yeah, Eddie's a good guy. Eddie and Al grew up together in California, know each other quite well. And one of the reasons why Eddie used to be here at Fraser Downs, and he went on to bigger and better things in the eastern U.S., and he was doing quite well. But one of the reasons why he's back here is for his friend Al to help out and fill in as the trainer. And of course, Eddie's a great driver too.
You're with the BC Standardbred Breeders Society. What's your capacity there?
Yeah, I was a number of years ago. I got involved when there was lots of fighting going on between the thoroughbreds and the standardbreds, and I knew some of the thoroughbred people, and so I got involved to help to coordinate the groups together, and we did quite well together. Those were the days when we brought in teletheater betting, and we brought in what was called overlap racing at the time. Rather than just in your season, you got to race in the other team's area, and simulcasting, and we did quite a bit of, and that's when we did the track expansion as well. Worked with what was Jim Keeling at the time, and I hadn't been involved for quite some time, and a number of people had asked me to be involved, but You know, there's a lot of really good people here on the two associations that have now amalgamated to run the horse racing from the horseman's perspective. And you know, I'm here because I have some expertise, and you know, and I'm prepared to offer any help I can. Horse racing is an entertaining experience. It's about entertainment and keeping people interested. You know, there's a number of promotions that some tracks are doing. Grand River in Ontario is just doing a fabulous job. It's a small farming community out in the middle of nowhere, and I think their population, the greater area farming community is like 50,000, and they're betting 200,000-300,000 a night. And they have a huge entertainment approach to it, and to keep everyone interested and happy. And they're doing games, and you know, great Canadians trying some of that stuff right now. And you got to try new things in order to attract people to come to the races. And if the entertainment experience is interesting, then they're going to return.
The government is now stepping in.
Well, government's always played a role in horse racing and governance of some sort. And you know, and I think you need that because you have the track operators, and you have the breeders, and you have the horsemen racing horses, and you know, all these disparate groups who are really focused on their own individual agendas. And by us working together, and I'm not the first person to say this, but us all coming together and for a common good of horse racing, will keep the product moving forward and have a better understanding, and it makes it easier to market by working together. And collectively, the standardbreds and the thoroughbreds, for example, are meeting now on a regular basis and starting to talk about common issues. Well, government needs to understand what our issues are as much as government wants us to know what they're thinking, and I think there's more of that coming together. And with the track operator at the table as well, I think there's lots of positives towards the roles everyone has to play.